Itil 4. What's new in the latest evolution of the world's most used service management framework? Itil has been around for some time with multiple versions. Historically, it's been known as a process-based framework, rooted in Itil 1 and Itil version 2 in particular, with 10 processes and the service desk function. What we perhaps recognise more as Itil is what Itil version 3 brought to the table with its life cycle based approach, with the core publications giving us a description of how to get the right services for our customers, design, build, test and deliver them. That basis hasn't gone away, but Itil 4 provides us with a new, fresh take on what service management is, and at the heart of that is value and supporting business outcomes first and foremost. We're not considered to be a prescriptive process framework anymore. This idea of value is absolutely essential and is a strong thread across all of the publications that you can see in front of you. Let's have a look and see what's actually changed. Starting with the idea that the nature of the publications isn't rooted in a life cycle anymore because there isn't one. And so the foundation publication covers a lot of the differences that are at the heart of what Itil 4 now is. One of the most important additions to Itil 4, the guiding principles. These guiding principles inform our decision making and hopefully assure that we will do the right things for the right reasons. Whether that's making sure that we're always thinking about customer value and what they need, whether it's making sure that we're making proper consideration of what we have, technology, processes, people, where we need to reuse what we've got and where we might need to add or augment our capability. Making sure that we think in terms of, particularly these days, agile, progressing iteratively, working in time boxes and learning from what we're doing, particularly any mistakes that we make so we don't repeat them, and ensuring that work is visible. Some of you will probably have seen Kanban boards in your offices where you can see the flow of work. Make sure that that is visible to everybody in the team. Having a view of the entire system or service and not working in silos is crucial. And making sure that we're actually doing something, but we're not doing work we don't need to do is also important. Itil is very aware of the importance of the use of technology. Making sure that we're doing the right things and automating them where possible is one of the newest considerations in the guiding principles. These form the heart of our thought processes, but they're by no means the only changes. In version 3, the 4 Ps were introduced in service design. These 4 Ps were considerations for when we're designing services, and they've been fleshed out in this new version. The first dimension isn't just about people. It's also about recognizing organizational structures and the importance of creating teams effectively. Those teams need to have the right culture. You can't underestimate the importance of that. It's also essential that we have the right technology, but recognizing the importance of information. I'm sure I don't need to tell any of you about GDPR nowadays, and understanding the importance of managing information is crucial. The right partnerships and the right suppliers in order to fill in gaps in our capability are crucial, and making sure that we've actually got processes that will support the work that we're doing in order to deliver value for our customers are essential. Hence the value streams and processes dimension, which is heavily influenced by Lean. Those value streams and processes are based on what we now term practices in Itil 4. Practices are based on the 4 dimensions rather than just being do this, do this, do this, you will achieve that series of steps. We've got 3 different types of practices. Some are just general good management practice. Some of them are old friends from previous versions of Itil, service management processes like incident management, problem management and change. Some of them are purely technical. But all of these practices can provide advice and guidance in the creation of value streams. These practices are only one of the elements of another big change in this version of Itil, which is the service value system, which very much replaces the idea of the life cycle. And that's based on the overarching idea of Itil 4, which is you must always link demand from the business to the value that they need to create and support them in doing that. The elements that we have in the service value system are intended to be used and reused to support this, whether that is the guiding principles that we mentioned earlier on, whether it's those 34 practices which will support the creation of value by giving us process-based activities. Itil 4 is very strong on governance, making sure that we've got the right policies and that we're managing risk within the organization and that we're compliant with any and all governance which may be relevant to us and our customers. Continual improvement has always been an incredibly important part of service management. William Edwards Deming, someone who's central to the history of Itil, said, organizations that don't learn may not be around. Therefore, continual improvement is required. And finally, the service value chain, whose purpose is to try and get us to think about not what process do we need, but how do we engage with our customers, or how do we ensure that the work we're doing to deliver an outcome is the right work and that we're not building waste into our activities. Whether it's engaging with our customers through the engage type activity, whether it is fixing incidents with deliver and support, whether it's designing and building service components, or whether it's purchasing them with obtain and build and design and transition, making sure ultimately that we're always thinking about how we can get better, making sure that everybody knows what the plan is. Let's have a look at an example of a potential value stream. Here we've got an individual who can't do a job. They can't save their document. How do we know they can't do that? Well, there's demand from them for us to take action, and we know that because we have an engage type activity here. Now it's engage, not just service desk, because we think first about what we need to do, and then we look to Itil to provide us with advice and guidance. In this case, the service desk practice about logging and categorizing the incident. We're going to need to perform some sort of support activity for them. So we can look to Itil to provide us with advice and guidance on how we would do that in the deliver and support type activity, looking at service desk and incident management to prioritize and find workarounds. If we're successful, we're going to need to communicate that, which means we're going to come back to engage. Engage in this case is, we've done what we can do. Are you happy with that? Can we close the incident off? And it's very important to notice that our value stream may include an improve step as well, logging what it is we did and seeing whether we can learn from that. If the individual is happy with the work we've done, we will have linked demand to value. The job they need to do has been done, they can get back to work. This is the ultimate goal of any value stream. Now, how did we create that value stream? Much of what was in there was in the foundation book, but we have 5 publications that build on what was in the foundation book. So the creation of the value stream, the use of the 4 dimensions there, that's in the foundation publication. The actual creation of a support value stream is something we would find in Create, Deliver and Support, along with the use of techniques like Shift Left and team building to ensure we've got the right skills and capabilities to do that. Making sure we've got the right services for our customers, engaging with them to know what those services look like, and that we take them on the journey so that we're constantly co-creating value is where Drive Stakeholder Value comes in. Understanding the role of digitally transformed services and businesses and how the use of Agile, Lean and DevOps, as well as other principles like Toyota Carter and design thinking, is where the High Velocity IT publication can provide us with value. And finally, we mentioned earlier on the importance of governance and ensuring that we're compliant from a customer perspective and that we support that with direct plan and improve type work. These 5 publications provide us with management guidance and the ability to hopefully create value for our customers. Each publication relates to a training course. The foundation course is a requirement. Every one of the books is then an intermediate specialist or strategist course. It's a 3-day course that goes with that. Do all of those, you can call yourself a managing professional in the realms of Itil 4. The strategic leader qualification is something which Axelos are yet to tell us more about. We will let you know more when we know. If we can help you in any way, shape or form, our contact details are on the screen at the moment. We hope to hear from you if we can help you create value for your customers through the adoption of this framework. Hopefully this has been a useful video for you. We hope if it has been, please get in touch with us. But thank you for your time. Cheerio.